Among the other projects, we are utilizing these funds to build 5 new passport offices and renovate 2 others, so we're able to reach out to the American people, especially with the new requirements that a passport or a card is required to cross the Mexican and Canadian borders. We are constructing a state-of-the-art $120 million data center west of the Mississippi in order to have sufficient backup in case of some kind of emergency or crisis on the East Coast. And we are developing a new Foreign Affairs Security Training Center to consolidate diplomatic security's hard and soft skills training in one location, because as you can imagine, as we send more and more people into harm's way in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and in Pakistan, we need to be able to make sure that they receive the kind of training that will provide them the maximum amount of protection. Investment in these facilities will position the Department to better achieve its current missions and to accommodate future goals. I mentioned greening earlier. Now entering its 2nd year, the Secretary's Greening Diplomacy Initiative continues to develop and implement policies and initiatives that will reduce the State Department's environmental footprint, empower employees to contribute to greening efforts, and set an example of the environmental stewardship within our organization and to our communities around the world. Here in this building, we have already installed 104 solar panels on the roof, and we recycle over 200 tons of waste each year. In the past year, we've done everything from implementing a bike sharing program, sort of pick up a bike and take it for a ride if you've got a short distance to go, to changing the entire operations in our cafeteria and moving everything in there to recyclable cups, plates, dishes, and utensils. But our greening efforts are not only limited to Washington. The Office of Overseas Buildings is committed to obtaining the U.S. Green Buildings Council Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, often called LEED, certification for all new embassy and consular building projects, and 4 of our embassies have already achieved this distinction. OBO has also compiled a green guide for embassy and consulate operations that provide green recommendations and best practices for posts in energy, transportation, site management, water reuse, materials, and the indoor environment. For example, a rainwater harvesting system being built for Embassy Monrovia will virtually eliminate the need to truck in potable water, potentially paying for itself within the 1st year of operation. Our consular activities can never be far from our minds. Haiti. The January 12th earthquake in Haiti, devastating, required a massive and unprecedented U.S. government response. Without a functioning host government, the United States, with the consent of Haiti's leadership, took charge of the airport and other key functions temporarily in order to allow not just a major humanitarian crisis to expand because of the lack of ability to get additional resources in. Over approximately a 10-day period, the State Department evacuated over 16,000 American citizens and family members from Haiti using assets from the U.S. Coast Guard and from the U.S. military. Additionally, we recovered, identified, and repatriated the remains of numerous American citizens who tragically died in the earthquake. We also coordinated seamlessly with the Departments of Homeland Security and Health and Human Services to implement an unprecedented special humanitarian parole process for the more than 1,000 Haitian orphans who were in the process of being adopted by American parents at the time of the earthquake. We helped document and arrange transport to get these children out of harm's way as quickly as possible and into loving homes in the United States. Here in Washington, we stood up multiple task forces to deal with various aspects of the crisis. On the consular front alone, the Bureau of Consular Affairs tracked down nearly 23,000 requests from American citizens to see what the status of their loved ones were in Haiti, deployed 70 TD wires to Port-au-Prince, and logged in nearly 12,000 hours of task force services. And the Bureau of Diplomatic Security deployed numerous federal special agents from DS that were vital in securing the embassy, escorting essential supplies in from Santo Domingo, and providing essential security support at our evacuation station at the airport. Crises like these may be of particular interest to all of you because we cannot and we did not do these efforts without calling upon the full resources of the State Department, and we certainly consider all retirees as potential members of that cadre. For those of you who are interested in WAE work, you can be an essential part of these operations as well. During the Haiti Task Force, several bureaus, including WHA, the Refugee Bureau, and Consular Affairs, did in fact identify WAEs from their rosters who served in various roles, including as task force coordinator. WAEs with regional expertise for the crisis, operations experience, or experience on a previous task force are most immediately useful, but we can train anyone with a good attitude and a desire to work. We need people who understand how to work in the interagency, communicate across bureaus, and use current technology. Stamina and a little bit of good humor, I think, are also required for those long shifts on the telephone. It is most useful if WAEs are willing to work the same shift over several days. They can become the continuity and serve an especially useful role as the shift's institutional memory. We're especially grateful for those who are willing to take the overnight shift. Your colleagues who served as WAEs were most effective in helping us keep an up-to-date understanding of what was going on because of the knowledge they brought to us from the bureaus they had served in. We encourage interested members of the retiree community, and I might note there is new legislation out that creates a category of WAE for civil service employees as well, who are now able to work and not have their pension totally offset. For those of you who are interested in this endeavor, I suggest you contact one of the Bureau executive offices, a bureau that was your home, to register your concern and to express a desire to serve again should it be called upon. That's the retiree, and let me shift for a moment to the entry level. Throughout this morning's presentation, you will hear us talk a lot about Diplomacy 3.0. At the end of 2008, the base year for Diplomacy 3.0, we found ourselves with severe staffing deficits, up to 16% overall in the Foreign Service and 10% in the Civil Service. Primarily the results of staffing demands in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, the gains we have made during the previous diplomatic readiness initiative were rapidly being eroded. Although HR once anticipated the overall mid-level deficit would be entirely eliminated by the end of 2011's promotion cycle, it now appears that the increase in mid-level positions expected under Diplomacy 3.0 will result in a continued mid-level deficit until approximately 2015. Under this program, we plan to increase the size of the Foreign Service by 25% and the Civil Service by 14% over a 5-year period. To accomplish this goal, we need your help to reach out to qualified candidates from diverse backgrounds through communications with your friends, family, various online networks, local communities, local universities. What better recruiters are there for the civil and foreign services than those of you who were practitioners of those skills and those arts to tell young people exactly what a great opportunity to serve this institution provides. I hope that you will encourage others you meet with in your new endeavors to consider opportunities that the foreign affairs agencies offer to those who wish to serve their country at home and abroad in the civil and foreign service. You can become volunteer recruiters if you wish by simply sending an email expressing your interest to volrecruiter@state.gov, VOLRECURTER @state.gov. Once we get people in, we've got to hold on to them, and we continue to make the department, we believe, a better place for its employees. Two notable achievements in the past year are overseas comparability pay and benefits for same-sex partners. Of course, we were delighted that President Obama signed legislation designed to close the pay gap for Foreign Service employees posted overseas who do not get locality pay as do other federal employees assigned domestically. We are now about to implement the second of a 3-tranche effort that will eliminate that gap. And we're also very pleased last summer that the Department could extend the full range of legally available benefits and allowances